Hello, and
Wait, I
welcome
wasn't
to a
ready.
few days short. You're gonna be ready. You're on screen now.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Hello, it's me, Scruffy Duck, and I have Mr.DM here.
Uh,
We're gonna do some homebrew stuff today, because we don't have
yeah,
enough people to play
sorry.
D&D.
Yeah, sorry. Apparently, everyone's got their own lives to do or something.
Yeah, people are going on vacation, doing things, just,
How dare they?
yeah. How dare people live lives outside of D&D? How could they?
Travesty.
I have some music running for the stream in case we get boring and you don't want to listen to us talk. You can hear that. It's
Just
all
drown us out.
from Dark Fantasy Studios, and you can see the name at the bottom of your screen. I was prepared for once for something new.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah. Do we have any announcements?
I don't believe so. Next Saturday, we're probably not going to have D&D again, but I'm probably, if I get time, going to try to do a session warm-up for my Monday IRL game.
Yeah. Cool. I will be playing probably Gunbrella tomorrow. I'll be here around this time tomorrow, dying over and over and over again, like I did last week.
Yeah.
If you want to see a montage of all of my deaths, it's on our YouTube. It got posted today. Yay, shilling. And then I think Matt's out, so no Monday or Wednesday game. And then I'll be out next Sunday. So yeah, we're gonna have a very sparse week, everybody. I'm sorry.
Yay!
Okay, so today we're gonna attempt to make a new class for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. My idea, as you can see on the screen in front of you, is some kind of shifter, shape changer, wildling, with drawing inspiration from Nimona and Beast Boy. I want mechanics that encourage shifting and to be a martial class, and I would like to avoid lycanthropy and cursed shapeshifters because that's a thing already, and I don't want spellcasting. And then yeah, my original idea was just to do a druid subclass, but that is not fun because then you're just stealing stuff from a druid, and then you're not really a druid anymore. So
Stealing's wrong, unless it's
oh,
fun.
yeah, of course. Unless you're in D&D, and then I guess do whatever you want, because that's how life works, I guess.
Yeah.
So, where would you like to start, Mr. DM?
That's a good question. Like, well, aside from your inspiration and everything, do you have any like base powers for this subclass or class? Or
I have some ideas. Because yeah, I've been really trying to lean into trying to figure out ways to like incentivize shifting so that it's not, I mean, clearly it'll have to be resource based because that's how 5e works, but to not, I feel like druids with wild shape, they'll wild shape and then they'll stick in wild shape for as long as they can because it's, such a finite resource, and they get all the extra health if they choose a shape that gets that. So I'm trying to think
essentially have 2 health bars at that point.
Yeah. Well, 3, really.
Let's go ahead and read what wild shape is, so that way we can kind of work off that. Starting at second level as a druid, you can use your action to magically assume the shape of a beast that you have seen before, or that your DM allows. You can use this feature twice. You regain expended uses after you finish a short or long rest. Your druid level determines the beast you can transform into, as shown in the beast shapes table. At second level, for example, you can transform into any beast that has a challenge rating of 1/4 or lower that doesn't have a flying or swim speed. And you can also transform into a beast shape for a number of hours equal to half your druid level rounded down. You then revert to your normal form unless you expend another use of this feature. You can revert to your normal form earlier by using your normal form earlier by using a bonus action on your turn. You automatically revert if you fall unconscious or your hit points drop to 0 or you die. Dying sucks.
Yeah.
Of course, your game statistics are replaced by the beast stats, but you retain your alignment, personality, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. So no, you do keep those 3 ability scores. You just can't talk and have opposable thumbs typically.
Unless you're a monkey. Still
Yeah.
can't talk, but you've got the thumbs at least.
Yeah. You can at least give people the okay.
Mm-hmm. And then,
that's the overall gist.
We were talking about, you assume the beast hit points and hit dice, and once you, so essentially, if you pick a beast with a lot more health than you get a nice big health boost.
Yeah, like what most druids do, turn into a bear, and then once their hit points drop to 0, oh wait, you still have a perfectly good druid.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's gonna turn into a bear again?
Yeah. So I'd like to. I'm thinking following the same rules as Wild Shape for maybe for the level requirements of the size and shape. Maybe look at following the combat Wild Shape rules. Was it circle forms? No, yeah, circle forms for Moon, where they get the slightly better ones. But I'm thinking maybe drop the. Don't do the health change, so you just stick with whatever your base health is. So you're not using it to become a tank. You're using it for the other bits and pieces.
One issue of that is with druid already existing.
Yeah.
That means that the druid is going to be tankier than your martial version of it. In that sense.
Yeah,
so healthy combination.
At least your moons would be consistently. Yeah, I think to combat that, we could do something to give temp health instead.
Temp health. I kind of like what the shifter does, in where you have your natural abilities, but then you can use your shift ability, and when you shift, you get temporary HP along with additional abilities. Like, I really like that.
You're talking about the race, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that might do it maybe, and maybe since you're not having that hit point buffer as big, maybe you can change more times more often.
That's what I was. That was my hope, was to give it more, so that we're encouraging shifting, and it's not like you can only do this twice a day kind of thing, because then that kind of kills the idea.
Hey, I just misspelled shifting. I forgot the F.
So yeah, the shifters, at least the legacy shifters, it says transformation lasts 1 minute until you die. Revert to your normal appearance as a bonus action. When you shift, you gain temporary hit points equal to your level plus your constitution modifier. And then you gain additional benefits depending on your sub-race. So that's not bad. Let's go
perhaps maybe let's look at some animals here. Good on monsters. Thank you. Let's look up a bear. See the base stats for bear. Because the black bear for Circle of the Moon Druids, that's going to be like their go-to if they want to be tanky.
Yeah.
Because that gets you 19 hit points.
It's just at the
level 2.
Yeah. But they could do brown. It's brown for Moon.
Oh, that's right.
Your CR1, and that's 34 hit points.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of a jump there.
I got this up on screen, so I'm trying to keep up with you.
Let's see.
So yeah, that is at level 2 for druids, right? That you get your wild shape of the druid circle features. So a moon would have at level 2 could pump out 68 extra HP.
That is totally balanced, I promise. Your DM's not going to be totally annoyed.
No.
Oh, I completely forgot about this for combat wild shape. Additionally, while you are transformed by wild shape, you can use a bonus action to expend 1 spell slot to regain 1d8 hit points per level of the spell slot expended. So you're even tankier.
If you're willing to sacrifice your spell casting. Yeah.
The rights of the circle grant you the ability to transform into more dangerous forms. Starting at level 2, you can use your wild shape to transform into a beast of challenge rating as high as 1. You ignore the max CR column of the beast shapes table, but must abide by the limitations there.
Yeah, so that's where I run into the issue, because it's like either we'd have to give them a high base health alone, and then a way to generate something additional on changes to make it worth it, but also keeping it within bounds so you're not,
Now, if you're going for a martial class, perhaps some ability to enhance the creature's natural abilities. Let's take a look at some creatures here.
Because I know, so moon druids get primal strikes at 6, which just makes their stuff not magical. We could do something smite-y.
Or maybe even something similar to like combat maneuvers.
Yeah, that would be good.
Like, a bear or something has the natural ability that you lack, but you have people intelligence. You can utilize it a little better. So let's see here. Well, I guess we'll just look at the CR1 for now.
Yeah, let's start at the beginning.
It's just as a reference. Okay, well, let's look at the brown bear. So you have 19 strength, 10 dex, and 16 con. And then your mental stats are all whatever you had before. It also has a speed of 40 feet and a climb of 30 feet, so that's a lot of movement. You got 34 hit points, lot of HP, especially when you double that for a secondary transformation.
Yeah.
And then 11 AC, which is not great AC, but your hit points budge. So you also get, as abilities, Keen Smell. The bear has advantage on Wisdom Perception checks that rely on smell. So that's a nice little bonus there, especially if you're trying to find something. Maybe even avoid being ambushed. Multi-attack. The bear makes 2 attacks, one with its bite and one with its claws. The bite has a +6, and the hit it does 1d8 plus 4 damage. So some decent damage on the bite, and then the claws, even more so, with the 2d6 plus 4.
Yeah.
A lot higher average there.
Yeah.
So I wonder if somehow incorporating the ability to for bites
attacks
and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe like include the option for grapples or knocking prone or something like that. Because if you get slapped by a bear, chances are the average person is not getting up from that. So I think maybe get the opportunity to knock someone down or something.
Yeah, I like that.
Now, this isn't just bear specific, but like appropriate to the animal you are. Like it'll rely on that animal's strength or dexterity or whatever.
Yeah.
So like for a brown bear, if you're wanting to knock someone prone or grapple them, those would be 2 good options. Because it relies on strength and you have the 19 strength.
Yeah.
And maybe something else make it a little more interesting is keeping your skill proficiencies.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you got proficiency in like athletics, you're a super athletic brown bear. You could bench press other brown bears. I don't know.
Yeah. That you can live out your wrestling a bear dream as a bear.
Speaking of wrestling bears, come see soon on our Adventures in Anchorbell, where we'll probably have an orc wrestle a bear.
Yeah. Yeah, because so I'm just gonna go back to. Should just keep this up so I don't have to keep going back and forth to it. But Wild Shape is very restrictive. Because you lose everything but your intelligence, your wisdom, and your charisma scores. From you as a person. So if we're making a class that's much, their whole thing is changing, it would make sense that a lot more of themselves stays as they change. So that could be really cool. Keeping like your proficiencies and stuff.
Maybe even keep your save proficiencies as well. Because if you're going to be in that form most of the time, then keeping those saves is going to be extremely important. But that might be a little too strong, especially depending on how the temp HP goes.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have to be, you'd have to tie that, like how many times you can generate temp health to something specific. And I don't know what you would want to do that to.
Maybe the beast constitution plus your proficiency, perhaps? Maybe something like that?
Yeah. So let's... So at 2, you would have 5. Temp that you could generate if you did it con in your proficiency.
Yeah. Of course, plan on having more allowances for transformations.
Yeah.
So perhaps you can go straight from one form to the other.
Yeah.
Like I'm a bear now, but I'm going to transform into a direwolf and like maybe make that distinction. You can't transform into the same creature.
So basically, yeah, not having to go beast to person.
Maybe this transformation isn't just like a strictly magical, but it is also physical. Like this is still your body, and transforming into another form gives you somewhat of regeneration.
Yeah.
Just wonder if Constitution plus proficiency is enough to really do that, but that's something to work on.
Yeah, I mean, so what? Proficiency. Let's look at my fancy table. Proficiency starts at 2 and ends at 6. So, I mean, yeah, that if you multiplied it, maybe it would be better. Adding, just straight adding, feels like at higher levels it would be useless.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because, you know.
So for a brown bear, you would get 6 temp HP at the beginning.
At 2. Assuming. Wait, don't let them shift it. Level 1. Yeah.
Yeah. But you would go by... I was going by proficiency bonus, which is 2.
Yeah. I just meant at level 2 or level 1. Yeah, in your first 4 levels, you would get 6 temp HP if you changed into a brown bear. On top of whatever your base health is.
Yeah, and if you can transform into different creatures at will, and that regenerates that temp HP, then if you're transforming more often than a druid, then I think that kind of evens out, makes it a little more balanced in a way, and also forces you to change up your playing style. Like, okay, this isn't working, let's try something else.
Yeah.
This is fun. I like this.
Yeah. So we're talking.
And another thing we should probably look at. Let's look at something that people might change into as well, like maybe a giant poisonous snake.
Yeah.
Or maybe even just a regular snake. Let's look at a regular constrictor snake, which is still large.
Yeah, so that's a CR 1/4. But it's got +1 con. Bite is a +4. Does 1d6. And then you've got your constrict ability, which is also a melee attack with a +4. And you do 1d8 +2 bludgeoning damage, and the target is grappled.
Maybe we can also change it to where built-in abilities like that are increased, because that DC 4 is taking 10 plus your strength modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
Well, yeah, the proficiency bonus of the snake, which is always a 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we could level the beast's abilities with your proficiency, that'd be good.
Now, based on that, because how DCs are figured, it's 8 plus proficiency bonus plus whatever ability it is.
Yeah.
So the snake actually has a higher DC than what
it
should be.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Their attack is right because it's 2 plus your proficiency, so that's 4. It seems like they almost did 10 plus ability plus proficiency.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Based one.
They probably just thought like 12 is probably a little too weak, I guess. But then again, it is a constrictor snake in a fantasy setting, so 12 seems reasonable to me. But I think maybe allowing you to increase your actually carry over the proficiency bonus and everything would be nice. And then looking at the other side of the snake spectrum, we got poisonous snakes, which are tiny beast with 0 con.
Yeah,
but they have
so
a nice little poisonous bite.
Would you get
Maybe.
Nothing, or would you give a baseline 10?
Probably have a minimum of like a minimum of your proficiency modifier.
Yeah.
It would kind of suck to be level 20, but you're needing to turn into a poisonous snake for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then have no temp HP.
Mm-hmm. Well, and so that would play into one of the ideas that I had for a feature was to, like, as a reaction to being attacked, shifting sizes. So if you're a bear, shifting into like a cat to try and avoid the attack.
Yeah, as a reaction kind of thing.
Yeah.
That'd be neat.
So, I mean, you would just have to be, the restriction would be you'd have to go smaller or bigger. Or what you currently are. And it would just be what, basically disadvantage or a bonus to AC, whatever makes sense for.
The creature has to have a different size and maybe a different AC, but then again, depending on how you want that ability to work, it might not matter.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking you give dis, but then, yeah, you still have the thing of a bear has 11 AC. If you shift into a mouse that I think has, like, next to nothing for AC.
Brown bear has 11 AC, and let's bring up a rat.
Yeah.
A standard rat has armor class of 10, so it's pretty easy to hit.
Yeah. So it doesn't really
maybe
help you in that situation.
Maybe regardless, it causes disadvantage on the attack.
Yeah.
If you go smaller, maybe disadvantage on the attack. If you go bigger, maybe you get an additional temp HP or your AC increases, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, that would be.
Like if you're going smaller, you're trying to avoid it, but if you're going bigger, you're just like, yeah, I'm going to get hit, but I want to be beefy for this.
I like that. Because then it gives you some tactics, because most things are going to be medium-sized, large, whatever. There are options to go either direction, no matter what size you are, unless you're already tiny or already huge.
Because if someone's attacking a bear, they go to swing a sword, and they swing way over because it's now a rat.
Yeah.
That's a big difference. But if you're going to like step on the rat, and then it transforms into a bear underneath your foot, yeah, it's not going to have the same hit.
Yeah, no. And you're definitely, like that, the whole idea was just as like the wily kind of throw people off balance by change.
Maybe just disadvantage regardless.
Okay, yeah.
Because you're attacking one thing, you're going to kind of adjust. Like if you're stepping on like a bug or something, it's not going to be the same as stepping on something that's a lot bigger, which is kind of fucked up to say.
Yeah.
If I'm crushing a bug or caving in a skull, I'm going to apply a different amount of pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's also like if you're a bug and then you shift into a bear, you're essentially just stomping on a bear's foot.
Yeah. And in that case, you're just pissing off the bear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or hurting its feelings one.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
How dare you?
So yeah, a reaction to impose disadvantage and shift. That'd be nice. definitely have to increase the number of shape-shifting uses that you have.
Yeah, and so that's I was like, and depending on how you do it, I'm wondering if this is like your reaction is a different resource. Like you can do this proficiency bonuses per times per day, and it doesn't count against your other shifts.
Now, would you still get the proficiency and everything?
The
Proficiency, but the temp HP.
Yeah, so I don't. I can see going either way. I can see it being abused.
Maybe let's look into some of the abilities first and kind of go by, okay, here's what we're thinking, and now let's kind of tone it down a bit.
Yeah.
Like, who knows, maybe right now, like say at level 2, you get 5 transformations a day or something like that.
Yeah.
5 transformations per short. Like that might work out fine. Maybe we need to do more, maybe we need to do less. It kind of depends on what abilities are finalized. Also kind of depends on what class. So this is going to be its own class, correct?
That's kind of how I've been approaching it, yeah.
Okay. Saying earlier, like, a lot of the classes do have that crossover subclass, which would be an option, but some of them it doesn't really make much sense. Like it might be pretty cool as a fighter, but at level you don't get that until level 3, which kind of is weird. Like, yeah, I can't transform until level 3, and that's what I'm building my whole class around.
Yeah.
Though Action Surge Bear would be pretty funny.
Yes. Yeah, it's... And I guess it depends on like what kind of how would you put it? Like lore flavor you want to put behind it? Because like, is this a thing that you can learn to do, or is this a thing that you're born doing? Because then that changes. It's like, not everybody can be a sorcerer. In current D&D lore.
By 5e lore, you're born a sorcerer.
Yeah.
But you can typically learn to become a wizard.
Yes.
And so long as you got the chutzpah for it, you can become a fighter.
Yeah.
Or a barbarian. Whatever.
So yeah, I don't know, like... And then thinking about the fighter in general, like... the other stuff that fighters get, I feel like we would be giving that class way too much.
Something else to consider, like, we are focusing primarily on what makes it different from wild shape druid.
Yeah.
But it's also a martial, so I'm thinking non-transform, like just your base character, like what can they do different from other classes?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it has to be anything major, but like, of course, get some proficiencies with certain weapons and stuff.
I mean, what if you? What about non-transform? I'm just gonna write this down.
Maybe something similar to the shifter features in a way.
Yeah. So just you get like your natural weapon proficiencies and like the ability to generate a natural weapon.
What was
Manifest a natural weapon.
One thing. Like, I cannot think of the name, but there's a spell that gives you like beast-like abilities. Bestial appearance, I think it was. See if I can find it. Oh, primal savagery. It's cantrip.
Oh yeah, that's the claws, right?
Yeah, maybe give that as a spell, but it's not intended to be necessarily a spell.
Yeah.
Like it's more of just something you can do in a way.
Yeah.
Change it from like you gain the primal savagery cantrip. It uses these stats, and it does not. It counts as a natural weapon instead of a spell or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That way, like the Lich can't say, "Yeah, counterspell."
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
So, just reading primal savagery as a cantrip, it takes 1 action to cast. It's on yourself. Just a somatic component. It does acid damage and it's a melee attack.
Yeah.
You channel primal magic to cause your teeth or fingernails to sharpen. Ready to deliver a corrosive attack. Make a melee spell attack against 1 creature within 5 feet of you on a hit. Target takes 1d10 acid damage. After you make the attack, your teeth and nails turn to normal.
So you guess that would it be better to say take this idea and create its own feature? Because if we wanted to give this class multi-attack, this wouldn't work with multi-attack.
That is true. Maybe just pretty much take it, change a couple, like maybe the type of damage it does. Maybe essentially turn it into an unarmed strike.
Yeah, who is it that? Because there's some classes that already, or races that already have like the bites and the claws.
I know Shifter has it. Yeah, Tabax has it. Of course, by the cantrip Primal Savagery, it does increase power as you level up.
That's true, yeah.
So perhaps we can make this, maybe change that into a subclass or something like, okay, you're primal, you don't use weapons, you use your fists, so you kind of turn to that kind of monk aspect.
Yeah. That would go with the fun joke that everybody always wants to do is the wolf with a sword could be its own subclass.
Yeah.
Beasts with weapons.
The Mouseketeer.
Yeah.
Out there, evil king, I'm here to stop you.
But you're just a mouse. Let me step on you. Oh, it's a bear.
Yeah. And the bear has a sword. The other one that I was thinking of just generally for subclasses was to change or expand what you can shift into to like monstrosities.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Monstrosities would definitely be an interesting one.
That's not how you spell that word.
So some cool ones might be, yeah, Beast Space, Monstrosity, and I guess Lantern Elemental, maybe?
Yeah, it's elemental is a thing that the moon druids can do, so I didn't know if I wanted to do that because that's already explicitly in that subclass.
Yeah. But they don't do plants, which is kind of odd.
Yeah, I mean plants.
And again, plants aren't great.
I was gonna say, how many options for plants are there?
Well, Dragon might be a fun one.
Oh yeah.
Because there are CR1 dragons and lower and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I guess there are a lot more plant enemies than I expected there to be.
Yeah, to me, most of the plant enemies seems a little underwhelming, except for like more unique ones and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Shambling Mountain, that's a very interesting one. A Corpse Flower from Mordecai's. It's a very interesting kind of set piece battle, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, dragons would be cool.
Dragons are always cool. So beasts, dragons, monstrosity, and plants. I think that's pretty good. I mean, heck, you can even do aberrations. Do that kind of spooky Eldritch transformations.
Yeah, that would definitely change the class significantly, which I think is, that's the point of your subclasses. So,
you want to be a spooky tentacle monster? Yeah, go aberration.
yeah.
Have you always wanted to be a flump? Well, now you can. Be the flying spaghetti monster.
Yes. Flying spaghetti monster, yes. But yeah, okay, so if just following wild shape rules, if that's a level 2 thing, at level 1, what do you get? What can you do if you can't transform? I feel like partial transformations would be the thing that makes the most sense.
Yeah, let's take a look at Shifter again. I think that's a really good base for kind of transformation kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I look at. Of course, I think the Legacy Shifter is what I preferred.
Yeah, I've got the new one up right now, and it looks kind of lackluster. You're humanoid, medium, 30-foot walking speed. You get to choose one. Acrobatics, athletics, intimidation, or survival. You have dark vision. Shifting. As a bonus action, you can assume a more bestial appearance. The transformation lasts 1 minute. You get temp hit points equal to 2 times your proficiency bonus.
Which, that's better. And that's a little better than, yeah. Where for the Legacy one, you get temp HP equal to your level plus your Constitution modifier with a minimum of 1.
Yeah.
So level 1, if you don't have Constitution, you just get 1 temp HP. But later on, you can have like a minimum of 20 hit points.
Yeah. Whereas the max you'd get from the new is 12.
But if you're going based on your proficiency times the beast Constitution, that's going to be really good for the transformation aspect.
Yeah.
That might fit in with whatever animal you're transforming into a little better.
Yeah. The shifting bonuses for the new shifter race is Beast Hide. You get a 1d6 additional temp hit points, and you have a +1 bonus to your armor class. Long Tooth.
That's same as Legacy.
Of
course,
yeah.
There is another difference. With Beast Hide, for all the Legacy ones, you get additional ability score increases.
Oh, interesting.
But now
you have to choose one.
New editions
in the Legacy, right?
Yeah. For new editions, it doesn't really matter. So but you also get Natural Athlete for Beast Hide, where you get proficiency with athletics.
Okay.
So you get a proficiency with all of these.
Yeah.
With Legacy.
In the new version, you get to pick it each time you change one of these 4. So you have access to all of the types, not just
that is pretty nice.
Longtooth is you manifest fangs, and you can make unarmed strike with your fangs that deal 1d6 plus your strength mod.
So I think I like the newer one in the aspect where you're not limited. So that is nice.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of does overshadow any proficiencies that you get. Because we get into proficiencies from the class anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the new shifting actually would fit this a lot better.
Yeah, so Swift Stride gives you bonus movement speed, and a reaction move. And then the Wild Hunt gives you advantage on wisdom checks. And you can't be attacked with advantage within 30 feet. That seems really strong.
Okay, sorry, I have the aberration stuff up, and I just noticed that there's something called the Goon Balloon.
Oh, yeah. That's from
Spelljammer.
Spelljammer, yeah.
And an interesting thing for that, it has the ability called Burst. Sorry that we're kind of throwing things off here a little bit, but
It's fine.
It's called Burst. When the Goon Balloon bursts when it drops to 0 hit points, releasing noxious gas and a 10-foot spear centered on itself. Creatures in the area must succeed on a DC 12 Constitution save. Now, for abilities like that,
Yeah.
that is an interesting one.
Yeah, I feel like...
But you end up poisoning yourself?
Probably. I mean, because I'm assuming we're not going to kill the character for using that ability.
Yeah. Well, maybe you still have, for abilities like that, like if it's something like that, it doesn't affect you. Like
Yeah.
maybe there's still a little bit of you in that where it's not going to affect you, because that is your own stuff, technically.
Yeah.
That is your own supply that you're not going to get high off of. Right?
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, for non-transform natural weapons, maybe...
I was trying to think, because with the Beast Barbarian at level you get to pick when you transform, when you rage. Sorry.
Now, something interesting that might be doable is just really make this your own and have it as 2 subclasses,
Yeah.
where you have a non-transform subclass and a transform subclass. And like, yeah, that's your class. You have 2 subclasses, that's your entire class.
Yeah.
Of course, you might have like some overall class stuff like ASIs and stuff like that. And maybe for non-transform, have one where it's focused on melee weapons, one where it's focused on unarmed strikes, another one where it's focused on, I don't know, something else.
Yeah. I feel like then you're making a fighter and then a different class.
Well, it is a martial class, and you got to have something for when whenever you're not transformed. Like, it doesn't have to be anything major, but like maybe like you get a better attack later on for whenever you're not, or maybe you get like a Way of the Bear or something like that, where you're using like a great sword or great axe or something, and you're just cleaving things instead of doing normal attacks. Like,
yeah. For situations where shifting wouldn't make sense. Yeah, that would... Yeah.
maybe you're in a small area or something, and you need to transform into something big, but you got some big power, so you got an alternative there.
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting idea. So ugh. Instead of shifting sizes, you're essentially using that same ability, but to enhance your humanoid.
Yeah, you're
person.
using whatever you can transform into, like, just to give you a little bit of a boost. Maybe even like snake like strikes or something, where you have sneak attacks or something like that, or your attack deals poison. different ways you can go about that. Just have like a list of different things, and like depending on whatever transformation subclass that you pick, you can kind of just change names or whatever, depending on whatever you feel.
Yeah.
Or maybe even take out things like bear swipes, like have that as inspiration, because like savage swipes, where it's a little more open ended.
Yeah. That would be interesting. So yeah, it's a whole subclass that's just about using those natural abilities of things to enhance you as a person instead of using the beasts to fight. I like that.
There's also going to be situations where, like for RP reasons or whatever, transforming isn't going to make sense.
Yeah.
So having that ability to not transform but still have some of your class ability would be nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not going to be as good as a fighter or a barbarian, but you can still pack a mean punch every now and then.
So putting it more in here. Yeah, because I guess a lot of what we've talked about so far has been like not really a lot of different features. Because I mean, you've got your shifting, which would be whatever your temp health and the restrictions on when you can and what you can turn into. Like all of this is all one feature, basically.
Yeah, but it is a very key thing for the class.
Yeah.
It is the purpose of the class. And also there's already druids, so you have to make it different.
Yeah.
But also still feel right. Which I think so far we're on the right track for making that. Yeah, you don't have magic, but you're really, really good as an animal.
Yeah.
Or whatever you pick.
Well, and I mean, to fit with D&D lore, it would be, the shifting is a magical shift that you're doing, but instead of using the weave to produce external effects, the only magic you do is internal to yourself.
Yeah. So like I'm seeing lore wise, it's pretty much like you're a druid, but you didn't get any magic abilities.
Yeah. You cannot produce fire or talk to plants, but you can.
But you can transform into something that can.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I like this because, and yeah, as you. So basically, you're saying, yeah, you can transform, or you can enhance yourself.
Yeah. Like as a bonus action, essentially kind of make it like a smite in a way.
Yeah.
Where you can add on a little bit of effects or whatever.
I like that.
Or just make it straight up an action or whatever. Like instead of making a great sword attack, you use your savage swipes ability.
Yeah.
Which slasher, just have it as part of your normal attack. So that way you can multi-attack still.
Yeah.
Probably
kind of.
Bad,
I mean,
better.
kind of. Would you do what? So I guess talking about that, would you think more smite or more like combat maneuver style?
I guess more combat maneuver in a sense.
Yeah.
Because
I can't spell.
I'm seeing like these are abilities that you're already intending on using.
Mm-hmm.
Where a smite, typically it's like, oh, I hit, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and use my smite. But the combat maneuver is more like, yeah, you were planning on already trying to trip them or whatever.
Yeah, I'm already standing in front of a group of 3 people. I might as well hit all of them if I can.
Yeah, might as well just pull a spin move.
Yeah. I like that. Okay. Let's just make sure that I spell words properly. I like that. What other things could we give that would be humanoid focused? Because we've got natural weapons. I would put proficiency in here because I feel like that would be useful.
Maybe you have keen senses.
Yeah.
Maybe have that as a choice, since you'll be transforming into things that don't necessarily have that, and kind of be weird to have all the keen senses, but transform into something that doesn't. So maybe you should have like better eyes, better sense of smell, or whatever, or maybe better sense of taste. That's one I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Lick. Yes, this is poison.
Lick. Oh, lick. Yeah. Cause
hearing.
Yeah, that was the other one. I was trying to remember what the other ones were. Would you put something that would equate to stealth in there? It's not really a sense,
maybe not
but...
for keen senses.
Yeah.
Well, let's just go over the senses. You also have feeling. Maybe something like a very minor tremor sense, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
And then somehow do something with taste. Like have that mostly as a joke, but like I'm sure we could think of something that'll be neat for that.
I'm trying to think, because like what's out there right now? Because there's like dwarves get like stone cutting, which they just know things about stones.
Maybe keen taste. You can tell what something's made of, perhaps. If you look at the taste.
Yeah.
Because the other ones are pretty easy to figure out, but taste and would be definitely an interesting one to play with.
What am I thinking?
Have you seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wings?
Yeah.
Just give a little taste to see how people are feeling.
Yeah. The wild child that just licks rocks and was like, ah, yes, this is such and such thing. Lick your friends.
Lick your enemies. Yeah. Whenever you manage to taste someone, you can get them like an insight check or something.
But free vibe check for licks.
I think we should also note on there, the average insight that you discover is that they're creeped out.
Answer. You're great.
That's the wrong your.
Ah, you're right. It is.
There you go. Good job. You got
I
it.
spelled tremor wrong too, and I haven't fixed that yet.
Tremor. And maybe for that, maybe like a 10-foot tremor sense or something.
Well, it's what is blind fighting style? Because that's 10, right?
I think so.
So yeah, I feel like 10 wouldn't be.
Let's see.
Obscene. Where are the fighting styles?
Blind fighting. You have blind sight within range of 10 feet.
Yeah.
Within range, you can effectively see anything that isn't behind total cover, even if you are blinded or in darkness.
Tremor sense is technically stronger than
Which I think 10
blind sense
feet
is.
still wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
Because if you're being ambushed, chances are it's going to be from farther away.
Yeah.
But you might be able to tell, like, hey, someone's picking my pocket.
Yeah. Or there's stuff underground that's creeping up towards us. Yeah. I like it. So this would be a pick. You don't get one. Don't get all of them.
Yeah, you just get one of them, which I think is pretty fair.
It also gives you some variety, and you could make it to make sense for your character. And yeah, I like that.
I'm reading over the Tremor Sense right now to figure out exactly like what makes it different from everything else.
Yeah, so its tremor sense is let's see. A creature with tremor sense is sensitive to vibrations in the ground and can automatically pinpoint the location of anything that is in contact with the ground.
So yeah, if
Aquatic
someone is
creatures with
sneaking
tremor
up on
sense.
you
Yeah.
within 10 feet, you'll know. Unless you're like insanely good at stealth.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, even technically, according to the way that's written, even then you would know because they're touching the ground.
True.
So flying creatures you wouldn't be able to sense if you were blind.
Yeah, I think that's good. Because blind fighting, it also helps you in total darkness, and if your eyes are damaged.
Yeah.
And you still technically can fend off against flying enemies and stuff for Tremor Sense. You can't.
Yeah, I mean, you could do ground-based enemies if you were blind, but that's it. I like that there's the aquatic part of tremor sense. So if you turn into like a shark, and you had picked tremor sense, you have a shark with tremor sense, which is just like the scariest idea possible.
So you're talking about also carrying it over to the beast.
Yeah, why not?
That would be interesting. That would be really interesting. A shark with tremor sense, you could feel every vibration in the water.
Yeah, you would know where everything is within 10 feet of you.
You can't get me a seagulls. Yeah, that would be pretty good. Now, the issue is, like, for brown bear, it was smell. They already have keen smell, so what would you do in that situation?
I mean, you're gonna run into that situation anyways, aren't you? Because like, if eyes is dark vision or advantage on perception checks, there are creatures that have both of those things already.
Yes. So do you just carry it over to it, and if you already have it, ignore it, or do you give another bonus? I'm thinking just ignore it.
I would think if the bonus from keen sense is better, it overwrites the animals. Otherwise, nothing.
Yeah. Now, by better, it would be, I mean, they either have, like, for keen senses, they have better sight. They have at least one of them.
Yeah.
But some of them do have keen eyes and smell like that.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking more like if you did eyes as dark sight at 30 and the beast has a dark sight of 15, then you would just take the 30 with you. But if you do advantage on stuff, then it doesn't matter.
So for eyes, you want to do to where you have dark vision.
Oh, I don't know. Like, that was just my talking through it. I don't.
But I think that's something you need to look at. So for eyes, you want to have some sort of. I think dark vision's appropriate.
It's dark vision, and then or. I feel like advantage on perception is too strong for the way 5e is built.
Yes, but at the same time, everything's already got it. So it's. I mean, one of those things like you're competing with it already. So you get dark vision if you didn't already have it. I mean, maybe if you have dark vision as from your race, maybe it's better.
Oh, like boosts.
Yeah, like if you have 60 feet, maybe it doubles it to 120. And if you turn into like I think like an owl has like if an animal has 60 feet and then you transform into it while you have keen eye senses,
Yeah.
maybe you just translate your vision to it.
Yeah, I like that.
Smell.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would you do just what the bears have already, or are you thinking something different?
Perhaps, but yeah, they just have advantage on perception checks that rely on smell.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. And I mean, the same goes with eyes as well. So, I mean, technically, you could do all of that. Just give them all advantage. But if you think about, like, Wolverine, he has really good smelling.
Yeah.
And, like, he'll smell something and be like, oh, there's people here. So that might be interesting idea to lean into. So maybe that do go and give it that perception check. But if there's like a strong odor in the air, maybe that's overpowering or whatever. So that's going to be on your DM.
Yeah. Just put this there for now. I feel like hearing you could do kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Hearing even more so, because I mean, like the slightest noise you'll hear.
Yeah. I mean, would you say it's so you have this option, or you could do, what's it like from alert? Can't be surprised while you're conscious. Creatures don't have
Tremor sense within 10 feet pretty much gives you that if it's ground based.
Yeah, but if we're saying you only get one of these,
yeah.
I don't know if
smell and hearing are so similar in this aspect already. Maybe we should give them something each a little different, like a little bonus or something.
Oh yeah, something
certain
additional.
Things. Yes, something unique to it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe smell. You have some way of tracking, because that's what smell's typically used for. So maybe like better survival, something like that.
I mean, you could do
advantage on survival checks while tracking.
Or do you think do the way that some of the other systems or classes do it, where like you get proficiency, and if you already have proficiency, you get expertise?
I don't think that really applies to this.
Okay.
I think more specific, like where it has perception checks that rely on smell.
Yeah.
Like if you're tracking specifically, like you're trying to follow something through a jungle, like instead of just following footprints and stuff and like broken branches or whatever, you're also using smell.
Yeah.
So you have advantage on tracking checks.
Yeah. Okay.
That survival tracking checks or investigation, whichever way. You have advantage on tracking is what I'm trying to say. Regardless of whatever skill. Oh, I mean, ability score. That's what I mean.
Yeah. There we go.
Track.
Yeah. I just wrote tracking.
Tracking. It would be tracking survival checks using smell. So that would be it. Or I guess investigation sometimes also kind of crossed over there.
Yeah, and I think that entirely depends on your DM and what they're wanting to do. So I don't know.
maybe we just put like for right now, just so we have it as a note, tracking survival / investigation. But I mean, regardless, it's still tracking. It's just you might be using a different ability.
Yeah, I like that.
And then for hearing, maybe something like alert.
Yeah, I was trying to think of, because like hearing would be much more like being able to react. I mean, yeah, it's like the whole not being able to be surprised.
Yeah, I think that might work. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so for alert, you cannot be surprised while you're conscious. You gain +5 to initiative, so probably not the +5 to initiative.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking
Or
just that second
can't
piece.
be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other creatures don't gain advantage on attacks against you as a result of being unseen by you. I can see that also. So pretty much alert without the bonus to initiative.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's too strong considering alert's a feat?
I mean the +5 to initiative, that's a big bonus.
Yeah. I'm just, if we give 2 of the 3 things of a feat as a class feature, I feel like that's a lot. I don't. It seems like
At the same time, it does fit, and it's not anything that's too crazy.
No, I'm just thinking like the whole can't be surprised. There's multiple sources for that being a thing. The other one where you don't have people don't have an advantage against you if you can't see them seems like that would be maybe more, because that doesn't come. You don't get that from anywhere else.
Yeah. That does.
So that to me feels like that would be nicer if we had to pick one.
Well, I mean, you cannot be surprised by your conscious, so I mean that already helps a lot.
Yeah.
And if something's going to be sneak attacking you and you don't see it coming or hear it coming, then yeah, it's going to get advantage on you, because like if they're rolling high enough stealth, then they overpowered your hearing.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right.
So that it's cannot be surprised while conscious, I think is nice.
Good.
So that way, like during surprise rounds, like hey, you knew something was coming, you were ready.
Yeah.
And that still opens up the doorway to like, hey, there's just a really like, hey, maybe someone thinks you're an animal or something. There's a really good hunter there. They're pulling out all the stops to hunt you down.
Yeah.
And they put a nice stealth. They're gonna get advantage on that attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It doesn't take away from the story, the gameplay of other NPCs and stuff. So it's good.
It just makes you a little cooler.
Mm-hmm. Do you, now that we've got something written for all of them, do you feel like we need to change any of the other ones?
Eyes seem
kind of boring.
A little odd. Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you could also go for the advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on sight.
Yeah.
Because that would be nice. Like if you're in a crowd or something and you're trying to find someone, if you have keen eyes, and you're probably going to find them a lot easier. Or at least see more details that people other than you can't see.
Yeah.
And the dark vision's a nice thing, especially if you're a human, or heck, if you already have dark vision, doubling that's pretty good.
Yeah. So then, I mean, everything's got 2 except for feeling and taste.
Which tremor sense is
Tremor
pretty
sense
strong.
is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that one alone's fine. Taste, I think that one's just silly enough to where it's just like, yeah, you could take this, it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, knowing what something is made out of and being able to get vibe checks
Look, I mean,
off
so
flicky people is unique.
I feel like this one you could expand it to like I was thinking like attempting to see if something's what are the diseased or poisoned without being affected by it as part of
Like
knowing what something is made of.
probably.
Like attempt to detect disease and poison.
Yeah, it could also be something like, hey, what is this kind of rock or something?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, this is limestone. Yum.
Maybe just like wipe this everything out for taste. Just put advantage on checks involving taste and just leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you could apply it to pretty much anything, even insight. It's just kind of like how you and your DM go about it.
Yeah. It's very much I like the idea of the feral child that's like, this, oh nope, this is poisonous, don't eat this.
I mean, just like even people just going out and hiking and stuff, like they'll reach down, grab a little bit of dirt and just like lick it or whatever. Dog's been through here.
Yeah.
I can taste the kibble.
I like that just as a stupid kind of trope. I think that's pretty funny.
At the same time, advantage on checks using taste would be very interesting because the implications of that is like, okay, if you're wanting that insight check or something, then you gotta lick the person
go
for
lick
that.
them. But also,
Now,
like, if you get to keep this and you're like, oh, I'm gonna turn into a dog. Go lick people.
Yeah.
Where it's
like, hey, like,
more
congratulations,
accepted.
you just stealthily figured things out.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I like this. It's staying the way
It's kind of jokey, but at the same time, it's got its uses.
Yeah, I mean, depending on what kind of campaign you're playing, yeah. In a very combat focused, it's not going to be useful, but then you wouldn't pick it. So,
but at the same time, you're a martial class, and if you're focused on fighting, and if you take taste, that gives you some weird RP thing to do. So
lick
it works
your
out
enemies while you're fighting them.
I roll to lick.
It'd be a bonus of your bite, your natural weapon bite attack. You also lick them and learn things.
Dracula scraped and lick.
Instead of what Tyrion's I drink and I know things, it's I lick and I know things.
I could see myself playing a character that runs off taste.
The more we talk about it, the funnier it is to me.
The funnier it is, but at the same time, it's like that actually can be very good.
Yeah.
Like your insight check, it might not reveal like deep secrets, but you can get their mood or whatever. Like, hey, like you said, transform into a dog. Give them like, oh, they're nervous for some reason. Why are they nervous?
Yeah. Oh, this person has, been sweating profusely recently, and it doesn't look like they've been physically
also, you've had
active.
your daily intake of salt.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, maybe you want to lick a rock and find out like what kind of rock it is.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, that plays into what D&D's rules of if you don't know what a potion is, if you taste it, just a little bit of it, you learn what it is.
Yeah, like not enough to actually do anything, but like, hey, yeah, I know what it is now.
Yeah.
It tastes like cherry. That means it's a healing potion.
Exactly, yeah, because, everybody knows that that's what healing potions taste like.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I like that. I like
I know,
having
it's a
all
lot, too.
senses as an ability.
Yeah.
To just have this class nothing but choices.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Which I do like that. I love, like, yes, this is a specific class, but you have choices within that class to make it your own thing.
Yeah.
Like, I want to become a kind of like the monk aspect of it, where you're primarily dealing with punches and kicks, but then
Yeah.
you take taste, and then you take aberration.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be like a gazer that's going around licking people.
Well, I mean, or God, what is it? Let's see if this is it. Yeah, no, the gibbering mouther. You're just mouths.
Yeah, just get all the taste in.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, that's a CR too, so it's gonna be a little before you get it, but
It's
you can
later
get it.
in the game, yeah, but still.
Yeah, but you do take that taste, and congratulations, you're able to lick everything within like 10 feet of you.
And also,
Congratulations, new term or sense.
terrified of you because you're just mouths.
How do you feel? Lick, 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 lick. This is the best worst idea.
Okay, so we've got one.
Please get consent from your table before starting to lick people. And please don't lick people in real life. I mean, unless they're into that, and that's between you and them.
Yeah, yeah. So we've got. These shouldn't be here. 1, 2, 3. These are all fairly early. I mean, these two definitely would want to be early.
Yeah.
Level. This one could be a little bit later. What are we?
That makes sense though for the shape-shifting martial class to have some abilities right there in the front that you get.
Yeah.
And then like the next level or two, not as big, but you get pretty much all your class stuff up front.
Yeah.
All your key stuff. Unlike for like most subclasses where you have to wait till level 3 to get that one defining feature that you're wanting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
pretty much completely changes the way you play.
Most of the other classes, it's just all
like
changes
for
or
fighter,
advancements of the things you already have.
Except from the case like fighter, where you become Eldritch Knight. Okay,
Yeah.
where did you get all this magic and stuff from all of a sudden? Like, you have to work that into the story yourself. But if you do it from the start, you've already got all this, and it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just going to get better as time goes on.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we looking at this way too intensively? Let us know in the comments below.
No, never. So, what do you want to think about next?
That's a good question. So are you wanting to do like the choice for what kind of like non-transformation you're doing? Like, so you're just in your human form at level 1. What do you get? So like, do you want to have to choose between natural weapons or martial weapons, or something else?
That's a
Or just give both the abilities, because I mean, like, you're only gonna be able to use one at a time anyways. So
yeah. I think I'm leaning more towards just give them everything. So, you get your weapon proficiencies, your armor proficiency if we decide to do that, and then you get a bonus. Oh, because you picked this class, you also have natural weapon proficiencies, and you could do whatever you want. So if you want to be the primal savage that claws people's eyes out and also changes into animals, you can do that. But if you want to be sword and board,
which I think kind of, you have to think of something else there. Like, if you have the option between choosing a martial weapon and just going bare knuckles, what's going to be the key difference there? Are you getting something out of the natural abilities that you're not getting from the martial, and at the same time, are you getting something out of the martial that you're not getting out of the natural?
Yeah, to balance them out so that it makes sense to pick when our.
That way, you actually have to choose, because otherwise, you might give more ability to the natural, which is like, okay, why am I using a weapon? Why do I have these proficiencies?
Yeah. That's a good point.
I can just walk into a room and just stab everyone with my fingers or whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe.
So I mean, I guess maybe that plays into maybe that part of it, the actual like weapon usage is a subclass choice. So every shifter, you get natural weapon proficiencies and the ability to manifest weapons, but not every shifter will have.
Yeah, maybe like level 2 or 3, you get a choice to choose, like, you want to focus more on weapons, you want to focus more on your physical form,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like along with your standard transformations and everything, of course. But
yeah,
this is like when you're not transformed, what you got. Yeah, that makes sense. Just go ahead and give them the proficiencies up front and a little bit of extra unarmed damage.
Yeah, because then, I mean, because you
on.
could do, like, if you choose weapons, you could do the whole, I'm going to fight as a person and then also as animals with weapons.
Yeah, let's go Dark Souls on them.
Yeah. But and then, yeah, you could do, that could play into, I could just be a person and use this stuff that we're talking about. Combat maneuver based ideas.
I mean, you could also work that into like the natural weapons and martial weapons as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So like maybe if you go into natural weapons, focus more on that. You get increased the damage die and all that, but you also might get a little something extra out of the enhanced humanoid abilities. Get an extra ability, but you already have like the savage strikes or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you have to put the choice in there if you're going to go natural weapons versus.
Of course, that won't be until like level 2 or 3, so you get the opportunity to play with both, or unless you already know what you're wanting to do.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm doing for my lycanthrope class is you don't have weapons when you transform. Like you're butt naked, but you're a rare creature, so you're really strong, so it doesn't matter. But as you level up, the challenges become more difficult, and you become stronger yourself, so you actually get to keep armor and weapons. Like, that is... Spoiler alert, that's something that Grimmer just got.
Yeah. I think that was kind of my idea behind this one was,
yeah,
the normal shifting is everything gets absorbed, you turn into the beast.
Yeah.
And then if you pick the weapon-based subclass, whatever we'll name it, you get to keep your armor and your weapons, and it morphs with your body.
Yeah, so which would be really nice, like if you have like an enchanted sword or something that's got +1 and deals fire damage. Congratulations, you're a bear with a sword that's on fire.
Yeah.
I do have one question / recommendation for armor proficiencies.
Yeah.
I don't think heavy armor would be necessary or even preferred by this class. Like I think maybe just light and
Yeah.
medium with shields.
I don't. Yeah, I'm on the same page. I don't think heavy makes sense.
It's like, why would you be wearing plate armor if you can just transform into animals and get bonus protections and stuff?
Yeah.
Like I understand, like, yeah, you might want some medium armor if you're gonna be a little more upfront and might not have every transformation ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's a great. So. Yeah, I mean the other things we've got unrelated to features is like, what are we thinking for hit die?
Hit die.
Because if we're talking about,
I'm thinking 1d10 maybe, because you're definitely gonna need a little more because you're gonna be in the fight. Like, yeah, you're gonna get some temp HP, but it's not as much as for a wild shape.
yeah, because we're not gonna
That's
say
gonna carry over a lot more.
you're not gonna go from level 2 where you've got 20 hit points to having 34 when you turn into a bear. You'll still be at 20, but you'll have a bonus of whatever.
You're just gonna have a little bit of a buffer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think D10 would be appropriate. Hit die 1d20. Wow.
So that would be 10.
So I thought we were trying to balance wild shape, but okay.
Nope. You got 22 health at level 1. Okay. So then, yeah, armor, we're on the same page. Light, medium, shields. Weapons, we're saying at level 1, we give you natural.
Well, you already have natural proficiency, so for unarmed strikes, you're already proficient with those. So it wouldn't necessarily be a weapon proficiency. If anything, it'll be like the monk, where as you level up, you get a better hit die.
Yeah.
So simple. And then you can do it to where maybe it's currently like 1 or 2 martial weapons, but if you choose to take the weapon path, you get all martial weapons.
Yeah, I like that. And then the other stuff is tools, saving throws, and skills. Is there a tool that makes sense with a... What do druids get?
Don't think so.
Do druids get a tool?
I don't think they get any tools. I don't think tools really matters here. I think that's something you could just get from your backstory and be happy with that.
So druids get herbalism, which makes sense.
Yeah. So. Which, in this instance, I don't think really fits.
No.
Personally, I don't think any tools.
Okay. And then we go into saving throws and skills, which kind of what we haven't really talked about is what do we expect the stats for this class to be? Because I feel like right now all we've done is say, oh yes, con is your most important skill.
But the thing is, it's con of the beast, not yours.
But your base health is based on your con. So
it is true.
The higher your base health is, the better you are.
And also, given like keen senses and the fact that you are a little more primal, Constitution saving throw does make sense for that at least.
Yeah.
And then for your secondary,
because most
I'm really not sure.
Do
strength or dex typically.
Yeah. So barbs are
Maybe it's like
strength and
wisdom
fog.
or intelligence. Maybe choose between strength or dex.
Interesting.
Like this. So far, I'm getting out of this class like it is highly customizable.
Yeah, because it's one of the things like I have like the features are the things that make the sense to me the most, but beyond that, you could do whatever you want really if you depending on what your stat split is.
For say that, I think Constitution's a no-brainer on this because like if you're going around licking stuff, you probably have a high Constitution.
Yeah. I'm thinking Dex makes sense too with the way the features that we're doing because you're talking about
Yeah, with the quick
moving,
shape shifting and all that. Yeah, being more fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Dex does make sense. Yeah.
That gives you like the ability to deal with.
At the same time, depending on how you're running your character, strength could also make sense.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, I think you're right. If we do pick Dex or strength. I think that's fine.
Yeah. And if you do it to where the saving throws carry over to the creature, that would also be nice as well.
Yeah, that's true. Because like I feel like most of the creatures don't have saving throws that are set for them.
Yeah, most of the beasts don't. Like the higher level ones, some of them get one, but most no.
Yeah, because like a bear doesn't have anything.
But if you look into certain things, like I'm sure like there's some low level dragons that probably have like charisma save and stuff. That is one thing to think about. Let's see here. Let's look at some low level dragons. Copper Dragon Wormling. You got anything? Yes, it actually has saving throws in Dex, Con, Wisdom, and Charisma.
So yeah, that you're getting a lot while you're that shape.
Yes, and then if you take Strength, then congratulations, you have everything but Intelligence.
Yeah. For as long as you decide to keep that form.
Yeah.
Which I guess that's a thing because with Wild Shape they have a time limit to them. It's a number of hours equal to half your druid level. So you can't be a beast forever with Wild Shape.
Yeah.
Is that
maybe for certain subclasses there is a drawback? Like just standard beast, if you take that route, it's not going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
But for going into like dragon and aberration, if you include those, that's where things get tricky.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe reduce the CR.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe that, or reduce the abilities that you get. Like you can become the dragon, but you don't get its saving throws.
Oh yeah. So put in stipulations like you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because like, what if? I mean, if we look at let's just look at dragons. That's the easiest. So low level dragon. Go. Yeah. What wormlings?
Yeah.
Would you? So yeah, I mean they've the brass dragon wormling has saving throws, skills, a damage immunity, and senses.
Now the damage immunities I don't see as big of a deal, and skills most creatures have at least one or two.
Yeah.
It's the saving throws that really is It's quite something.
It makes you really strong for as long as you hold that form.
And everyone else at the table is only going to have 2 saving throws, and here you're going to have 5.
Yeah.
If you play it right, which I think is a bit too much.
Yeah.
Maybe choose a specific saving throw to give dragons, like as a stipulation, like you don't get all those, but you get maybe put it as con or charisma or something.
Well, yeah. I mean, would if we're already giving them the class con, we would want to pick something else. So yeah, I mean, charisma would make sense for dragons, I think.
Yeah.
So, not all
saves, only charisma, if applicable.
Yeah, I like that. And then we can do the same thing for all of the different ones. So like aberrations,
aberrations, I think it'd probably be the same thing.
Yeah, either charisma or wisdom.
Let's look at some CR1 to see what's there.
What do we have?
A choker, nothing. Okay, so choker's a CR1 that doesn't have any saves. There's only 2 CR1 monsters that I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
The rest of them are less, but they're pretty good monsters.
Like the CR2, there's the burbling. It has Dex and Int.
Maybe give Int for that.
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to be intelligent creatures.
But yeah, it seems
so maybe for aberration, maybe make it intelligence.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Goblin Brawler, Intellect Devourer. A lot of these don't have saves.
Yeah. It seems like the biggest issue is dragons.
Yeah. What do the plants have?
I'm assuming even less.
CR1 plants. Okay, let's see. A Astral Blight has nothing.
A Man Trap has nothing. Which I do find that is interesting. Like if you go into the plant aspect, oh, we need to lay a trap. Okay, I'm gonna turn into a Man Trap.
Yeah. I feel like the plant one's gonna have to need a lot because there are not a lot of good choices.
Now there are things like Thornies where it's very interesting, and also it even gets regeneration.
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know. You might have to you can't pick this one, but I feel like they have their own advantages and disadvantages, which
there's some aberrations that are very human-like as well. So maybe if your DM deems it too humanoid, you cannot pick it.
Yeah.
It just adds stipulations to each one.
Yeah. CR1 monstrosities. Okay. Crag cat. Nothing. Death dog.
Yeah, I think monstrosities kind of fall in the same line as beast.
Yeah,
just cooler.
Except for you've got stuff like gnolls and harpies, and some of this stuff doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Could be
Again, probably that stipulation. If it's too humanoid, you can't do it.
Yeah.
Because gnolls are considered humanoid, but on this list they're not.
Yeah, they're monstrosities. Well, so are centaurs. Are considered monstrosities. So.
But if your DM's cool with it, sure, why not?
Yeah.
But personally, I think like make it a little more animalistic in a way.
Yeah, that's
Because you're already humanoid, so why would you transform into something humanoid?
yeah. So I mean, yeah, I feel like we're maybe not just put the distinction of dragons, like you were saying.
Yeah, just put the like, yeah, you can't do these things. Yeah, but yeah, dragon's definitely the issue with saving throws.
Yeah.
By a long shot.
Yeah. What do we want to give for a skill? Or skills?
I'm gonna suggest pick 3.
Yeah.
And for options, definitely athletics, stealth, survival, nature. Those are definitely 4 good ones to have on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, acrobatics maybe. Perception. And
That's good.
I think that's all it fits it.
Yeah. I think that's best. Your best options. Deal with equipment later. Okay. Cool. I need a break. Let's take a break.
Okay.
Gotta run to the bathroom.
Okay. I'm probably gonna have last till about 2, and then I'm gonna have to go. I got some. I have a busy day, like I was saying. I have to leave my house.
Okay, that's fine. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back and work on this
Yeah.
some more. Hello, we've returned.
Hi.
So,
so.
Start marking this stuff. So this is definitely a level 1. I think.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
I think most of what's here is level 1.
Yeah. I was like, do we want to put transformations at 1 or put transformations at 2? So you have a level of dealing with life as a non-shifting being.
Maybe have a large increase to the CR instead.
Oh, so like level 1, you can do, anything
Like,
under 1.
Yeah, like
Or
anything
half, or
like
whatever it is.
like quarter or under,
Yeah.
maybe. And then level 1, I mean level 2, boom, big jump.
Okay.
That way you're not too strong, and you can still use what the class is about.
And then what, level 2 on? Do you think following the wild shape rules makes sense? Like the moon shape, wild shape rules?
Now, you talk about CR wise?
Yeah. Yeah, just the CR. What you can change it to.
Let me pull that back up.
So it says, starting at 2nd level, you can use your wild shape to transform into a beast of challenge rating as high as 1. And then at 6, it's druid level by 3, divided by 3. So at 6, you can do 2. I feel like that might screw over the subclasses. But there is stuff at 1.
Yeah, I think. I guess put it at 1. Then you'll also be choosing. Are you gonna have it where you choose which path you take at the same time? You're choosing your subclass. Level 2.
I don't know.
Or do you want to have that at level 1? That way it makes more sense.
I mean, we could do it at 1, because that would fall in line with like the way that the sorcerer works, which is you're born into this power.
Yeah.
You pick who you are at the beginning.
I think choose which line you're going to transform into, level 1, and then for the CR, level 2, level 1, trying to figure out what's. They maybe have a different table for each one, or you just want to say 1? Because I think we balanced the dragon a little bit with that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, the CR1s had 4 saves.
Yeah. And that's
So
really
2,
what makes them
be really strong.
So maybe kind of go along with the circle forms, as in every couple levels just jump the CR.
Yeah.
So maybe level 5 or 6.
They also have the changes. No flying, no swimming, no flying, and then 8 doesn't matter anymore. So there's 2 sets of rules for wild shape.
Now, a good question is does that really matter to this? Because if you transform into like an owl or something,
yeah,
what's the flight gonna do that you couldn't do anyways? In some way. Like, yeah, you can fly into like bases or over walls or whatever, but players are crafty and they can figure out a way to do that without flying.
Yeah. I think the only thing is it's entirely combat focused. So if you give flying at level 1, you...
At the same time, what's flying that's...
I don't
and
know.
Also,
people throw
dragons.
At level 1. Yeah.
Also, dragons have flying. So that means you can't choose dragons unless it's very specific dragons.
That's
I
true.
don't think is
so yeah, no, I don't
really.
I don't think that matters too much, because if we build the CR restrictions right, you won't be able to get to something that would break the level of the game you're trying to run. Yeah, I think that's fine. And it differentiates.
And with things like dragons, like if you're using breath weapons and stuff, it still recharges, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But it essentially turns their abilities into what are essentially spells for you. So it's not a very big deal. So I don't see that as an issue, and the damage that they're doing normally isn't much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could also, if you take the beast route, the giant eagle, which actually does pack some hurt. Like, considering what it is, it does do about the same damage as a bear.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have flyby or anything, and it doesn't have ranged attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you still have to get close, and if you're going to try to fly away, there's still opportunity attacks.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess too, and I have to keep reminding myself, we're not giving a second health bar every time you change.
Yeah. And then also you don't have spells unless like that specific creature has spells or something.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about later on with them being able to cast spells for whatever reason.
Well, yeah. So yeah, so progression, we'd have to figure out a different set. I think you're right. It doesn't make sense. So, at what, like, if for you DM more than I do, if you had this in your class, in your campaign, somebody was playing this, when would you want an owlbear to show up? Because that's a CR3.
CR3, I'm thinking probably... thinking 10 or 12 might be fine.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you're using monsters that are strong enough to where it's going to overcome that anyways as a DM. Then, of course, just like general DM tomfoolery with RP and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
you can manipulate it to where, like, yeah, they might be able to turn into something strong, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So maybe, and CR1 is supposedly the equivalent of 4 level 1 adventuring party of like average strength.
Yeah.
So CR1 at level 2 is actually pretty strong, but you're not getting the HP and everything. So that's kind of helps that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
So
because you could be a bear and you at level 2 you have what, 3 times as much or twice as much health as most level 2 characters.
So, I mean, you transform into a bear where you get 34 HP. Oh, you just went down to 0. You're back to your normal form. Okay, I'm going to transform to a bear again and get that 34 back on top of my regular HP.
Well, and then, I mean, Direwolf's the same. It's 37 health.
Yeah.
Slightly better AC. And you get pack tactics. So, yeah, I don't... Throwing the health out, I think, helps balance.
I think that helps balance, yeah. You're, as DM, you're not going to be frustrated like, okay, I'm doing everything I can to attack this one character, and they still have 7 health bars left. Where just a little bit of a top off, I think, is appropriate.
Yeah. So, what we're saying, would you say half? So do 5 for CR2?
I kind of like how Circle of the Moon says it's 6.
Okay. Yeah.
There's 4 level 2 adventurers.
That also leaves 5 open to give multi-attack. If we wanted, without overloading what you get at 5.
Yeah. I think that might work.
Okay.
Now, CR2, the options are enormous, but they're nothing crazy, especially with the health issue gone.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of the CR comes from the damage they do and the health they have.
Mm-hmm.
So if they have high health, then they might not do as much damage or whatever, or they might have a healthy dose of both.
Yeah, I mean, if keeping along the bear track, what you've got, Cave Bear
CR2, which
is
mostly just jumps up the damage by 1.
Yeah.
So that's actually not too big a deal. The HP does go up a bit, but that doesn't matter in this case. So
it's
CR5. Run some tests. It's not CR5, but at level 5 CR2.
Yeah.
I think might work out. And heck, if you want to go for like level 15, do CR4.
I mean, because at that point,
at that point, your DM's throwing out monsters where it's not going to matter.
Yeah. At that point, the beast shape is just it's a conduit for damage at that point, and you're like using everything else to deal.
Yeah. Now, some of them might have like more supportive abilities, which would be really interesting to play around with as a player.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What's some CR4 things that you would be able to get?
So yeah, especially if you do the other subclasses,
you could turn into an elephant.
Yeah, it's CR4 monster beast elephant with
monstrosity wise. Garalin, the 4-armed ape.
Oh, yeah.
You could turn into a giant walrus from Icewind Dale. Which, I think overall, I think that's fair for what this class is. There is Lamia, if your DM would allow it, not considering it too humanoid, where you do get some spells and stuff, but those are highly enchanting kinds. So it's got once a day Gios, which might be a little strong, but at level 15, I don't think that's too crazy.
I mean, at level 15, if you have
you've already got
in your
Gios.
party, they can already do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5th level spell.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think that's anything too crazy there. And then, like, you want to jump it up at level 20, give them CR 5 or 6. At level 20, doesn't matter.
Yeah. At that point, not really. So if you went dragons at 20, what can you get at 6? There's a wyvern, and then 2 of your young dragons. Brass and a white. Fire burst. Yeah, I mean, and these have terrible DCs.
Monstrosity wise, CR6 Chimera.
Nice. Yeah, that would be fun.
And just think about it, just as a player being able to turn into a Chimera at will.
Yeah.
And it's level 20, so it's like, yeah, you're gonna be fighting like godlike entities. Does it matter if you can transform into that? You can also turn into a giant crocodile.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely think, though, like what you were saying before, moving, updating the DCs on these. He's gonna have.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do it, or you're gonna be. There's not gonna be
Not
a point
doing what you
in
should be doing.
changing into some of these things.
Yeah.
Because 15, a DC 15 at 20 is nothing.
Yeah, I think it's a fun idea, like being able to always turn back into that just regular poisonous snake,
Yeah.
but doing like they're not gonna survive the save.
Yeah. Okay.
Like maybe also add some sort of like damage buff or something.
Yeah.
That's a bit
Well, and that's
iffy,
I mean,
but
there's a whole bunch of stuff like we don't even have most of the features we're gonna need.
yeah, we've pretty much
build
got
the
we got
class.
level 1 and 2 kind of taken care of. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Okay, so here we go. That's good. That's good. So we're thinking this one, right? Proficiency bonus times your shapes.
Yes.
With a minimum being your proficiency bonus if the shape doesn't have a constitution mod.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you get something that has 0 con, don't worry, you get a tiny little bit of a buff there.
Yeah, you still get something.
It's
Or
only got
you shift into something
one
that's got
and
a huge con, and then you use your reaction to turn into something small, and you still have a big temp HP buff because you don't have to overwrite your temps, because that's how 5e works. Okay, so what about we've got these enhanced human and enhanced shapes. Where do we think those lie?
Okay, so which ones?
We have the enhanced human abilities.
Oh, those.
And the
I'm thinking level 3 for that.
Okay.
Because at the beginning you get a little bit of everything. Level 2, you finally lock in your shapes and everything, get that big buff.
Mm-hmm.
Level 3 is you got your you get a little more edge to not being a creature.
Yeah. Okay. So where would you put the improvement to your shapes?
Probably not until 4 or 5, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. 3 to 5 is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Because I think it might be a little too strong early on, but I don't want you to get too late, kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you get it by like level 6 or something, then yeah, it's nice, but you could have used that a while back.
I think.
Especially since it's going to act kind of like a maneuver.
Yeah. I think 5 makes sense, because if we do. Because that gives you can change, you've got the bump in CR at 3, you can stand alone on your own better if you don't want to change or it's not the right situation to change. 4, you get your feet, your ASI. 5 would be...
From a lore standpoint of building this, you get that big boost to getting able to get CR1 creatures, and then maybe some of that power is rubbed off, so now you have improved normal abilities.
Yeah.
So that, lore-wise, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then since now you've improved both, you can now use some of that to improve your shapes. I like that.
A building from a lore standpoint.
Information. This also needs to be moved. This is part of this. Oh, our reaction shift, I think we need to put. We might put that at 3. Or do you think it earlier? When do rogues get there?
Sorry, my mic wasn't on.
It's okay.
I'm thinking 3 or 4. Just to where it's not too early, to where you're dodging everything easily.
So yeah, I mean, rogues get Uncanny Dodge at 5. So that's kind of the equivalent that I see for this.
So maybe
Thematically,
4 along with the ASI.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. Your ASI, and then you get this little neat trick. Cool.
Something I don't like is when you get too much too soon.
Yeah.
And this one, the way it is, you're going to be getting a lot, but we're trying to feed it in a way to where it's a little bit at a time.
Well, I
So
mean,
you kind
really,
of-
you get your keen sense, you get your transformation, and whatever your first level subclass feature is. That's it.
Yeah.
That's 3. That's not that many.
Yeah.
Because, like, rogues get 3, most people get 2, rogues get 3, clerics get 2.
I guess. Well, I guess
Sorcerers
what I'm
get
seeing,
2.
I'm probably confusing this more with like XP based. So that's probably why I'm confusing more because I'm like I told you, I'm running a game for new players.
Yeah.
And at first we did XP, but then I realized, wow, they leveled up really fast and still have no idea what their abilities do. So we switched over to milestone.
XP leveling is so weird because it just incentivizes just murdering everything.
Well, I kind of incentivize players like, hey, I'm going to give you XP for doing non-murdery things.
Yeah,
but
I mean, that's what we would expect. It's what good DMs do, but a lot of the time that's not how that works out.
Sometimes this is a whole other thing, but like sometimes it's I even reduced how much XP they were getting for kills by half, and they were still shooting. They shot up to level 3 in Note in like 3 or 4 sessions.
Yeah,
and they were still just kind of still learning their characters. So we switched over to milestone, and now I can give them time to breathe on their characters and actually look into what their characters do and get comfortable in more situations. When I think they've got that and they do something big, okay, level up. I think that's just a DM advice there. Unless all your players already know how to play and everything, I suggest milestone.
Yeah. Cool. So we've got basically 1 to 5 minus subclass stuff. How do you feel about what we've done today?
I feel pretty good. I think it's shaping up to be a really interesting class.
Yeah.
It's for the people that want to be a druid, but really want to stay in their wild shape.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You know, because there's always that one person. It's like, I want to be a druid, but I'll shape it to a cat and stay in that form forever.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's gonna work out. Needs more work, considering we've only done 1/4 of the levels and no subclasses. But
I mean, I think for a good early on is where you need to really worry about it, because that's where all your base features are, things that you're always going to go back to.
Yeah.
And I think we got that fairly clear so far. That just makes everything else easier.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
and worrying about
we kind of skipped was if we wanted to limit transformations per day or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, and how many transformations you get, which at this point, I'm thinking maybe do it based on level or proficiency at this point. Just give them a good bit to play around with.
Yeah.
Or maybe just have it as like just a direct table. Like at this level you get this many, at this level you get this many.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to keep it exactly with proficiencies and stuff.
Doesn't have to be based off of video. Math. Combination. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, clearly at some point you're going to have to say you can do whatever you want, because that's... There's an unlimited amount of changes. Or you're really hampering the class. But that's like 15 or higher.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably like 18. Like, yeah, you've got unlimited whatever.
Yeah, your capstones.
Because chances are you're going to be taking enough damage to offset that temp HP by so much that you're going to need the extra transformations.
You're going to need to be able to change and get more temp to be able to keep going.
Unlike Wild Shaper, congratulations, you just get a new health bar every single time. Yeah. This one, your main form is still being whittled down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a really, really good start.
Yeah. Cool.
And I will happily, if you want, you're gonna be gone next Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like if you just want to do this, like if you see I'm online or just feel like working on it, just message me. I'll gladly work on this with you.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, I figured.
I'm invested now.
Good. I'm glad. But I'll whittle it away, work on it when I have some time, when ideas come up. But yeah, I think I can do it for a few.
If I get any ideas, I'll let you know.
Yeah, good.
If you at home have any ideas, please leave them in the comments below or message us. Join our Discord.
All of those
Find
things.
Scruffy at his house.
No, please don't. Not that one.
Okay, don't do that one. just leave a note on his door. Preferably with money.
Yeah, sure.
There, it's a little better.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, there's a link to our socials in our chat. If you're watching this or listening to this after the fact, it's in the description. Thanks for hanging out, watching us after the fact. Eventually, I think we might have plans to put a bunch of our homebrew stuff together in some way, shape, or form.
Maybe make a little book or something.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
Might be in
like
there.
Absolutely nothing cohesive, but like, hey, it's a bunch of neat ideas.
All the stuff that we've used or done, and I mean, well, we use a bunch of weird rules for our normal game. So
yeah, maybe what we should do, like throughout the week, like if you want to do a stream like this, or we're just working on something.
Yeah,
I'd be totally game for that.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. I mean, I enjoy doing stuff like this when I'm not alone. So,
I mean, I do this nice alone, and having someone here is definitely a lot funner to bounce ideas off of.
Yeah, it makes it's a very different experience when you have people to like bounce ideas off of, and
especially when you have two people like, oh, this is a good idea. Yeah, but what about this? It's that nice back and forth. Like, yeah, you're right. That seems a little too powerful or too weak.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Thank you, Chris, for allowing me to get in on this.
Yes, of course. Glad to have you.
Next Saturday, hoping to do a little stream of just some campaign prep for my Monday game. Where none of them watch this stream, so it's fine.
Yeah.
If watch it be the one day they're like, oh, I wonder what he's doing.
Yeah, what's going on in this place over here? Spoilers. Yeah. Okay. Well, I will see you guys tomorrow for more Gunbrella. Maybe we'll finish it. I actually don't know how long this game is, but we're gonna try.
He might put out another minute-long montage of him dying.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Probably. I probably will.
Go see that short.
Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.